when you feel broken. There will be days when you feel like you're unraveling, when the weight of everything is too much, when your smile feels fake, your strength feels gone, and your heart aches in places no one can see. And in those moments, the world may try to rush you, fix you, tell you to stay strong, when you're just trying to stay afloat. But here's what no one tells you loud enough. You don't need to be fixed, because you're not broken. Feeling broken is not weakness. It's a signal, a call to pause, to pay attention to what's been silenced inside you. Because that ache, that's where your truth lies, that's where your courage waits. We grow through pain, not despite it. We rise not because we're untouched, but because we choose to show up with the scars. The strength isn't in pretending everything's fine. It's in saying, I'm not okay right now, and still reaching for tomorrow. That is resilience, that is courage. So when you feel broken, don't armor up. Don't hide behind shame or silence. Let yourself feel, let yourself be seen. You're not weak for being tender. You're brave for staying open when it would be easier to shut down. You are not broken. You are becoming more real, more rooted, more you. There will be days when you feel like you are unraveling, when the weight of everything presses down so heavily that it's hard to breathe. You wake up with that ache in your chest, unsure whether it's sadness, exhaustion, or just the hollow emptiness that sometimes settles in when life doesn't go the way you thought it would. The world moves on, people carry on with their lives, and you're left trying to piece yourself back together with hands that are tired and a heart that feels shattered. And in those moments, it's easy to believe the lie that you are broken beyond repair, that something is wrong with you, that if you were stronger, better, more capable, you wouldn't feel this way. But feeling broken isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you've lived, that you've loved deeply, that you've risked being seen and known. The cracks in your soul aren't proof of failure. They're evidence of your courage. They show the places where you've stretched, reached, tried, fallen, and still dared to hope. Vulnerability isn't about collapsing under pressure. It's about standing in the middle of the storm with your heart open. Saying, "This is me. I'm hurting, but I'm still here." There is such quiet power in that. We live in a world that praises perfection, but what we really need is truth. Raw, unfiltered, messy truth, because that's where real connection begins. When you feel broken, don't rush to fix yourself. Don't rush to cover the pain or silence it. Let it speak. Let it teach you. Healing doesn't come from pushing pain away. It comes from turning toward it, from letting yourself feel what you've been afraid to feel. You are allowed to grieve what didn't work out. You are allowed to mourn the loss of dreams, of people, of versions of yourself that no longer fit. That's not weakness. That's the very heart of resilience. To keep going, not because you're untouched, but because you choose to rise with your wounds visible, with your story intact. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are becoming someone softer, wiser, more grounded in what matters. Every scar, every crack, every tear has shaped you. They haven't ruined you. They've revealed you. The most authentic version of you is not the one who has it all together, but the one who has walked through the fire and emerged with empathy, compassion, and the strength to keep loving anyway. So if today you feel broken, just know this. You are not alone, and you are not beyond repair. You are still breathing. You are still becoming, and that is more than enough. Resilience is not about being unaffected by pain, nor is it about having all the answers or always being strong. It's about facing what hurts, standing in the discomfort, and refusing to let it define you. It's not the absence of struggle that makes someone resilient. It's the presence of courage during struggle. It's waking up in the morning even when your chest feels heavy and everything in you wants to stay hidden. It's choosing to keep moving, even if you can only take one small step at a time. People often think of resilience as something loud, something bold, something heroic. But most of the time, resilience is quiet. It's the steady breath you take in the middle of a panic attack. It's the tears you let fall when you've been holding them in for too long. It's the whispered, "I'll try again tomorrow," even when today felt like too much. Resilience doesn't mean you're unbreakable. It means you're willing to show up, cracks and all. It means you've accepted that life will hurt sometimes, but that doesn't mean you'll stop living. The people who seem the strongest aren't always the ones who haven't suffered. Often, they're the ones who have faced unimaginable pain and still choose to love, still choose to believe in goodness, still choose to hope. That's what resilience really is. It's a commitment to yourself to keep showing up for your life even when it feels impossible. It's not perfect. It's not linear. Some days you'll feel like you've made so much progress, and others will feel like you've taken 10 steps back. That's okay. That's normal. Healing isn't a straight line. Growth comes in waves, and resilience is learning to ride those waves without giving up on yourself. When the world feels like too much, when your heart is tired and your mind is overwhelmed, remind yourself that it's okay to rest. Resting doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise enough to know that resilience also requires gentleness. You don't have to force your way through everything. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is pause. Take a breath, listen to what you need. Give yourself permission to feel it all. The sadness, the anger, the confusion, even the numbness, all of it is valid. All of it is part of your experience. Resilience isn't about avoiding those feelings. It's about making space for them without letting them drown you. You can feel broken and still be whole. You can be struggling and still be strong. You can be hurting and still be healing. Every time you choose to stay to try to care, even when it's hard, you are practicing resilience. And that quiet strength, that relentless, tender, patient strength, is what makes you extraordinary. Courage is not always loud. It's not always a battle cry or a bold move or a fearless act. More often, courage is quiet. It's in the small moments when no one is watching. It's in the decision to get out of bed when everything in you wants to hide from the world. It's in the soft voice inside you that says, try again. Even after you've failed, courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the willingness to move forward in spite of it. It's looking fear in the face and saying, I see you, but you won't stop me. Real courage is messy. It's vulnerable. It's full of doubt and trembling hands and racing hearts. But it shows up anyway. It stays in the room even when things get uncomfortable. It keeps loving after heartbreak. It keeps trusting after betrayal. It keeps hoping after disappointment. Courage is not about being unshakable. It's about being willing to be shaken and still choosing to stand. We often imagine courageous people as heroes in capes, doing extraordinary things. But courage lives in everyday people. It lives in the mother who keeps going after loss. It lives in the teenager who speaks up about their mental health. It lives in the person who dares to ask for help when they feel like they're drowning. Courage is taking responsibility for your healing. It's admitting you're hurting and giving yourself the care you deserve. It's not pretending to be okay when you're not. It's allowing yourself to be real, even if that means being seen in your messiest, most vulnerable state. And that takes more bravery than most people ever realize. There are so many moments in life that ask us to be courageous in ways that are deeply personal. Sometimes, courage is walking away from something that's slowly breaking you. Sometimes, it's staying and working through the hard things instead of running. Sometimes, it's speaking your truth, even if your voice shakes. Sometimes, it's sitting in the silence and letting yourself feel everything you've been trying to avoid. Courage doesn't always bring immediate rewards. Sometimes it just brings peace. Peace from knowing you were honest. Peace from knowing you chose integrity over comfort. Peace from knowing that you didn't give up on yourself, even when it would have been easier to do so. And that peace is priceless. Courage is in the decision to grow, to evolve, to change, even when it's uncomfortable. It's believing that you're worthy of more and being willing to do the hard work to reach it. It's showing up to your life not as someone perfect, but as someone present, fully, completely, authentically present. You don't have to be fearless to be courageous. You just have to care enough about your life to show up for it. Even if you're scared, even if it's hard, even if the outcome is uncertain, because that, your presence, your honesty, your persistence, that is what courage truly looks like. When you feel broken, it can seem like nothing will ever feel whole again. The weight of sadness, disappointment, and exhaustion can press down so hard that even breathing feels like effort. You may question your worth, your strength, or your purpose. You may look at the shattered pieces of your life and wonder how you'll ever put them back together. Healing in those moments can feel impossible, like a faraway dream only meant for other people. But healing doesn't happen all at once. It's not a sudden fix or a magical solution. Healing is slow, quiet, and deeply personal. It begins in the smallest moments, in the decision to keep going when you feel like giving up, in the courage to ask for help, in the grace you give yourself when you fall apart. Healing is not a straight line. Some days you may feel progress, like sunlight breaking through clouds. Other days you might feel like you're back at the beginning, lost in the darkness again. But both days are part of the process. Neither means you've failed. Both mean you are still trying, still showing up, still becoming. There's a common belief that healing means becoming who you were before the pain. But that's not true. You won't be the same person you were, and that's okay. Healing changes you. It doesn't erase the hurt, but it teaches you how to carry it differently. It teaches you to hold space for both joy and sorrow, both hope and heartbreak. It teaches you to listen to yourself more gently, to set boundaries, to protect your energy, and to value your peace. Healing means learning to trust your heart again, even after it's been broken. It means finding beauty in the scars, strength in the softness, and light in the places that once felt dark. It's about choosing to believe, even in small ways, that something good can still grow from what's been lost. Some days, healing means crying without shame. Other days, it means laughing without guilt. Some days, it's just getting through the day without giving up. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to have everything figured out. You are allowed to take your time. You are allowed to be a work in progress. Healing is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about choosing yourself again and again, no matter how messy or slow the process feels. You are not weak because you're hurting. You are strong because you haven't stopped trying. Every breath, every tear, every step forward counts. You are healing even if you can't see it yet. You are healing in the way you keep choosing to show up for your life, broken pieces and all, and one day, without even realizing it, you'll look back and see how far you've come. Not because everything is fixed, but because you are standing in your strength, whole in a way you never expected, proud of a healing that belongs to you alone. Authenticity is not about being perfect. It's not about having your life together all the time or always knowing the right thing to say or do. Authenticity is about being honest with yourself and with others. It's about showing up exactly as you are, even when it feels risky, even when you feel vulnerable, even when you're afraid that who you are might not be enough. It's choosing to let people see the real you, the unfiltered you, the version of yourself that isn't always polished or certain or strong. Authenticity is not loud or attention-seeking. It's quiet, consistent, and brave. It's found in the person who speaks the truth even when their voice trembles, in the person who admits they're struggling rather than pretending to be fine, in the person who says, "I don't know," or "I need help," or "This is who I am," without apology. Living authentically is one of the hardest things we can do because it means standing in who we are without hiding behind what we think others want us to be. In a world that constantly tells us to perform, to please, to impress, choosing to be real is radical. It's easy to fall into roles that aren't truly ours, to wear masks that protect us from judgment, to build walls around parts of ourselves that feel too tender to reveal, but over time that kind of pretending becomes exhausting. It disconnects us from ourselves and from the people around us. Authenticity asks us to tear those walls down, to trust that who we are, without the masks, without the roles, is enough. It invites us to live in alignment with our values, even when it's inconvenient or unpopular. It invites us to say no when something doesn't feel right, to say yes when something matters deeply, and to speak up when silence feels like betrayal. Being authentic means you won't always be liked. It means people might misunderstand you, criticize you, or walk away. But it also means that the people who stay, the people who choose you, are choosing the real you, not a version of you that you've curated to fit in. Authenticity builds trust first with yourself and then with others. It means you don't have to pretend, you don't have to perform, you don't have to carry the weight of constant approval. You can simply be. That doesn't mean you stop growing or stop trying to improve. It means that growth comes from a place of honesty and self-awareness, not shame or comparison. Authenticity isn't a destination. It's a daily practice, a choice you make moment by moment to live in your truth. It's messy and imperfect, but it's also freeing and beautiful. When you live authentically, you give others permission to do the same. You become a mirror of possibility, a light in a world that sometimes encourages hiding. You remind people that being real is more powerful than being perfect, and that truth, even when it's uncomfortable, is always more liberating than pretending. Wholeness is not about having every part of your life in perfect order. It's not about being happy all the time or never facing struggle. It's not the absence of pain, fear, or confusion. Wholeness is about embracing every part of yourself, even the parts you've been taught to hide, deny, or reject. It's the deep, quiet knowing that you are enough, just as you are, even in your most unfinished state. It's the ability to hold both light and shadow within you, and to understand that your worth isn't based on your productivity, your success, your appearance, or how well you pretend everything is okay. Wholeness doesn't mean you are never broken. It means you can hold space for your brokenness without letting it define you. It means you can fall apart and still be worthy of love, still be worthy of belonging, still be whole in a way that isn't about perfection, but about truth. So many people spend their lives chasing the idea of being whole as if it's something outside themselves, something they'll earn when they fix everything, when they feel better, when they prove they're good enough. But wholeness isn't earned, it's recognized. It's already there, already within you, waiting to be claimed. You don't have to become someone else to be whole. You just have to come home to yourself. That means forgiving yourself for the mistakes you've made, even the ones that still haunt you. That means allowing yourself to feel sadness without trying to numb it, to feel joy without guilt, to feel anger without shame. It means listening to your body when it asks for rest, to your heart when it asks for connection, to your soul when it longs for more. Wholeness is not found in the approval of others. It is found in your own self-acceptance, in the quiet moments when you choose to love yourself, not in spite of your flaws, but because of them. Wholeness also means honoring your story, every chapter of it, not just the victories and the highlights, but the losses, the failures, the heartbreaks. All of it matters. All of it has shaped you. You are not only the healed parts of your life, you are also the healing. You are the journey and the destination. When you stop trying to cut out the parts of you that feel too complicated or too painful, you begin to see yourself more clearly. You begin to see your softness as strength, your sensitivity as a gift, your scars as proof that you survived. Wholeness doesn't require you to have everything figured out. It simply asks you to stay open, to stay honest, to stay present with yourself as you are. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment to feel whole. The moment is already here. You are already whole. Not because you've fixed everything, but because you're still showing up, still breathing, still becoming, and that is more than enough.